Hello and welcome back to the Creative Differences Podcast. I'm Dallas and I've added horror movies to my list of things that black people do best.
Hi, I'm Gabby, and I am simping for Shang-Chi right now. Let's go.
I'm Colin, and I'll see you at the end of this podcast.
And I'm Demi, and if it's 1,000,000 to 1, I'm going to be that one. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences Podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Throwback Thursdays, Fancast Fridays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Today, we are doing a movie review, if you cannot guess, because we made a reference to every single movie that we're reviewing today.
We did not plan that.
And it was fantastic. Today, guys, we are reviewing Candyman, Cinderella, and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
We could do this.
Yes, we are. Before we get into this episode, please like and subscribe, or James Corden will show up to your car window in a rat costume and pelvic thrust in your face.
Okay, so
Hashtag
if that
terrifying.
ain't in, I'm waiting for Nope to get delayed so that he can rewrite it to include that.
That needs to be in there.
Oh, God.
Jordan Peele, if you're listening, you're welcome.
All right, so we should probably get started. First up on our list to review is Dallas went to go see Candyman finally.
Yes, I
Woo!
did.
Nia DaCosta!
Speaking of Jordan Peele, Candyman, directed by Nia DaCosta, who directed Little Woods and is directing The Marvels.
Please go see Little Woods. This is me constantly telling people to go watch it. I highly recommend it. I think it's on Hulu right now.
Also, please go see Candyman, because it slaps. It is written by Nia DaCosta, Jordan Peele, and Wynn Rosenfeld, who wrote an episode of Twilight Zone that one time.
The new Twilight Zone or the old one?
The new Twilight Zone. I think he works with Jordan Peele a lot.
Cool.
He's a producer on Black Klansman and things of that nature. What is your question? Why are you whispering?
I don't know.
Okay.
Which episode of...
I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
My
Let's
research
move
didn't go that
on.
deep. Anyway, it stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Tiana Paris, and Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo is that dude.
Yes, he's fantastic in this movie. All those people are fantastic. It's a fantastic movie. The IMDb summary states a sequel to the horror film Candyman, 1992, that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began. So, I watched Candyman, 1992, 2 nights before I saw the new one,
I would hope so.
and I'm so glad I did, because this is one of the best sequels I've seen in so long. The way it uses the first movie's narrative and builds on it is, I don't use this phrase a lot, but chef's kiss.
I was going
It's
to say,
so
are you going
good.
to say Chef's Kiss
I
right
really
now?
don't say it much, but that's the best way I can describe it. It's so fire. And
The emoji is just in my head right now.
Tiana Paris' character named Brianna, she has a brother who is also very funny. And he tells a scary story in the beginning of the movie that's pretty much the plot of the first movie.
Nice.
So when he started telling the story, first of all, Nia, shout out to you, because you know in all the marketing they're doing, the shadow puppet stuff in the
Yes.
trailers and stuff. They do that a lot in this movie. When he's telling the story, they take it to that aesthetic, the shadow puppet. And he's telling the story of the first movie, but it's how someone would have heard that story. So someone who wasn't there,
Oh.
like, decades later, hearing that story.
Okay.
So he's saying kind of what happens in the movie, but it's what the rumor has become. And I was like, that is so dope. It's so good. And then there's a reveal toward the end of the movie that I almost stood up and clapped. It was just like, oh my God, that's amazing. But none of you are going to see this movie, and none of you have seen the original because you are cowards.
I want to
I'm
so
terrified
bad.
all
To
the
me,
time.
I
need
love Nia
you
DaCosta
in
so
particular
much.
to see it, because I'm just watching and the cinema. I was like,
The cinema.
yo, these shots.
Listen, hit me up after
This-
I go see Resident Evil in November. Maybe I'll just be like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
let's do another horror movie because
Well-
I'm already there.
We'll build up your tolerance. And then, Colin, when you're ready to accept that part of your life, we'll circle back.
When you're ready to
you
come
as
out the closet.
Colin is still a closeted horror fan. We are working on that. But,
Every
Yes.
time you say that, I feel like you're gonna say he's a closeted whore.
Colin, moving
I am
on.
not that.
Just like it just stops and then you finish the word.
No, if there's one thing
Sorry.
Colin is not, it is a whore. Colin has never been a whore to my knowledge, but that's not what we're here for. Colin, are you a whore?
I am not
Okay. I don't know. You're like
I
saying some
am
things off mic. I would
happily monogamous, but
That's good.
yeah.
Cool. I respect that.
Woo.
Also, to any whores out there, do what you do.
It just like you you don't say horror, you say horror, and then I'm just like, so I had to say
That's
something.
on you, Gabby.
We've gotten so off track.
I'm
That's
so
true.
sorry I did this. Let's move on.
For future reference, whenever I'm talking about scary movies and I say Colin is a closeted blank, it's gonna be that he likes scary movies.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be about his sexual proclivities. Anyway, back to the movie.
Yes.
Story-wise, it uses race and gentrification in a way that makes it resonate so well, and it elevates it past the typical slasher movies. I don't really like slasher movies.
Mhm.
Like, I saw the new Halloween. After about 40 minutes of Mike Myers just killing people in a mask, I thought, that it?
By new Halloween movie, he does not mean the one coming out next month.
Yes, sorry. The new-ish Halloween. The one that, I think it's like the third movie called Halloween, but is technically, story-wise, the second Halloween movie because it
Oh my
follows the
God.
first Halloween movie, also called Halloween. Anyway, yes, this is a good, really good slasher movie. Candyman. Back to the black people. I have to get something off my chest. I keep seeing complaints about the movie's message and how it lacks subtlety. People are saying, oh, the social commentary is like really heavy-handed and blah, 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 blah. You have to be heavy-handed because people are not getting it. People are not getting the message, regardless of how we try to deliver it. We can do speeches, protests, movies, music, jokes, memes. It goes over everyone's head. So the time for subtlety is past. So if I'm going to make a movie about race and violence and gentrification, you're going to know what it's about. So I'm not going to tell anybody how to do their reviews. I'm just so sick of hearing white people complain about the social commentary in Candyman. But there's a scene in which Coleman Domingo is talking to Yahya about the various men who inspired the Candyman legend, all of whom were killed in racial violence by white people. And Yahya asks if Candyman is real, and Coleman responds, he says their names. He says, Robital is real, Sherman is real. Candyman is how we deal with the fact that this keeps happening to us.
Oh.
And I was like, man, that hit. Also because Coleman Domingo's performance is so good.
His performance is always good.
He was fantastic. Yahya was fantastic. Tiana was great. I knew Yahya could carry a movie on his own. Not on his own because there were people in it, but like as a protagonist.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see him actually do it because he's been in a lot of stuff. He was
Usually secondary.
Yeah, he's in Aquaman as
Black
Black
Manta.
Man. Oh yeah, Black Manta. And he's in what's it called? The Greatest Showman as Black Man
Zendaya's
number
brother.
1. Yeah.
He's
Didn't he
Cal
win?
in Watchmen, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Didn't
I think
he-
Watchmen is the closest he's had to like a more
Didn't he win an Emmy
Prominent
for
role.
that?
For Watchmen?
You should. He was really good in it.
Yeah.
He did.
But Regina King is technically the lead of that
Exactly.
show.
So
Mhm,
this
mhm.
is the time we get to see Yahya as the lead, and he killed it. There is a running acknowledgement of how black people don't mess with that spooky nonsense.
Absolutely not.
And I love it so
That's
much.
absolutely why I won't watch this movie
I
right
love
now.
it so much. There's a scene, my favorite transition in the movie, and maybe my favorite transition in cinema, is cinema. Tiana is talking to her brother, and they're talking about how Candyman is summoned. Like, oh, you go into the mirror, you go in the bathroom, you look in the mirror, you say it 5 times. And Tiana says, who would do that? Boom. Smash cut to a white teenager.
I'm so sorry.
It was beautiful.
It reminds me of when we were kids and like there was the legend of if you say Bloody Mary in the mirror
Exactly.
3 times, and I was like, no,
Absolutely
why
not.
would and I
Yeah.
would get stuck in bathrooms with people who would try it, and I was
Mhm.
like,
Oh, that's
Why?
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Latinos don't put up with that either.
We
We got too
don't.
much mysterious magic on our ancient side. No, we don't mess with that. Mm-mm.
But yeah, last thing I'll say, I've already bigged up the characters, dialogue, story, all of that. But the visuals, like I said, they do some beautiful things with reflections in this movie
nice.
With- because, mirrors. And
I do love good mirrors in movies. Period.
and
And the theme.
it's a shame that you don't watch horror movies because since I was a kid, horror movies have made me afraid to look in the mirror. And
I don't want that.
Yeah, it wouldn't go well for you. I
There
remember
were-
when Oculus came out with Karen Gillan.
Yes, I
No.
remember
I was
that
like,
movie.
yo, I am not seeing that. I'm already afraid to look in the mirror when I see a scary movie. But that movie's about mirrors.
Absolutely not.
But this one they do something similar. Like the reflections in the background, directly looking in the mirror, windows, the dumb little white girls in the high school. One of them has a compact mirror and it falls to the ground. And then you see another character's looking at it and the way they reflect and you see, cinema. But yeah, it's a great movie. Shout out Nia DaCosta. I am officially very excited for the Marvel to see what she's going to do. It's dope.
This is me once again recommending that you guys all check out Little Woods on Hulu, starring Tessa Thompson and Lily James, directed by Nia DaCosta. It was her first feature film, and it is a fantastic drama. I've been a huge fan of hers since that movie came out. I honestly need to start recommending it as much as I recommend Blind Spotting, because they're almost like in the same category for me as like, here are 2 movies that not a lot of people have seen. I should be recommending them at every time that I can.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Candyman. It's fantastic. And Demi, if I can get you to see it at some point, I
One
will
day.
be very happy. Colin, you too. Gabby, I don't think you can handle it.
No, absolutely not. I could not. I could barely handle Us. I was trying really hard not to run out of the theater.
I still haven't watched Us yet.
We'll work our way up.
We got to do it like in like daylight where I can be like, yo, it's still safe out.
I saw it with them at night, and I think, did I ask you guys to walk me to my car? I must have.
Probably.
I probably did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going down there by myself.
Absolutely not.
But it also might have been because you listen to serial killer podcasts all the time.
I do listen to people that have actually like murdered and dismembered and sometimes
Yeah.
flayed.
So maybe
other people.
stop doing that all the time.
Get your life together.
Ugh. Oh God, no! It's too much of a mess. It's gonna take a while.
All right. Demi,
Yeah.
talk to us about Cinderella.
Going to a very different
Yeah, let's go
type
to
of
a
movie.
princess.
Hard left.
hard left. All right, guys. Directed and written by Kay Cannon, the woman who brought us Pitch Perfect and Blockers, and starring Camila Cabello, Idina Menzel, Billy Porter, Nicholas Galitzine, Pierce Brosnan, and Minnie Driver, aka the woman who gave us the Phantom of the Opera quote that only Colin can do with me. Thank you, Colin.
What?
Anytime, girl, these things do happen.
These things do happen. So
And
anyway,
do you stop them from happening? No.
I feel like I don't need to give a synopsis to this movie. It's Cinderella, but a jukebox musical. But you know, in case you don't know what this movie is, a modern movie musical with a bold take on the classic fairy tale. Our ambitious heroine has big dreams, and with the help of her fab godmother, she perseveres to make them come true. Dope. This movie is hella entertaining, and I had so much fun. It's super freaking cute, and I'm seeing way too much hate for this movie that's legitimately just harmless fun. So I'm here to be a positive light in this.
It's good. We promote positivity here.
Yeah,
I like that.
we promote positivity here at the podcast. So I'm gonna try and be positive about this movie.
I respect it. Do it.
Yeah, I love this movie, and I think it's gonna do really well with the target audience, which is families, especially families with young girls. The cast is great. Idina Menzel is impeccable as always as the evil quote unquote stepmother. I like that they do what the 2015 Cinderella does, which is give her something relatable for the audience to grasp onto.
Okay.
Billy Porter is delightful as Fab G and makes an impact, even though he's not in the movie that much. But that's to be expected with the fairy godmother, because fairy godmother is never in these movies for very long. You got one scene, make your impact, let's go. Unless you're Whitney Houston.
True.
Nicholas Galitzine, who plays the prince, makes for a very charming and sweet prince who also seems to be a bit of an immature screw-up. And I was really taken by Tallulah Grieve, who plays his sister. Her character, she's just so funny and relatable. I love her so much. And then we have our star, Camila Cabello, who I am extremely proud of because I'm a huge Camila Cabello fan. She's actually a pretty good actress, and this is one of the better pop star acting debuts that I've seen. She's charismatic, and she's got great screen presence, not just stage presence, but screen presence. I know she has great stage presence. I've seen her live in concert. But yeah, her screen presence is something that I've noticed from her music videos. And this was like, I got to see that screen presence that I've noticed for so long for like 2 hours. And I love that. That's great. She's got really good comedic timing.
Nice.
And then that warm personality that her fans have come to really know, like it shines through this character of Ella. She's very expressive. Like, she started acting and I was just like, did you go to the school of Emilia Clarke? What's happening here? It wasn't too much with the eyebrows, but still her face, like, it was to the point where I was like, I feel like I could mute this movie and every scene I would know what you're feeling because I can see it on your face. You don't have to say anything. I know exactly what you're trying to communicate.
Word.
I saw someone say that she could have like a career trajectory that's similar to Jennifer Lopez's, which
Interesting.
I wouldn't mind. If she wants to do more acting, I would continue to watch her acting. I think she did a great job for this movie. Soundtrack slaps. God, it's so good. I love jukebox musicals because it's always fun to try and find like songs that fit a certain point in a character's story. And I think this movie chose like really good but also unexpected songs. I didn't know that I needed to hear Idina Menzel sing Material Girls. Billy Porter singing Shining Star. Yes, please. How can I not love a musical that starts with a mashup of Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation and Desiree's You Gotta Be? A mashup of What a Man and Seven Nation Army? How and why does it work?
That sounds really interesting.
I don't know why it works, but it does.
I want to hear that.
A cover of Ed Sheeran's Perfect with Camila on it. Say no more, guys. Everyone on the soundtrack sounds impeccable. I was really shocked with how good Nicholas sounds on the soundtrack. And Million to One, which is written and performed by Camila, is a fantastic, catchy I Want song. And Dream Girl, which is written and performed by Idina Menzel, is a monster. That is a beast of a song. They both wrote like such excellent songs that are, in my opinion, they're like thesis songs for their respective characters.
Okay.
So like Million to One really represents who Ella is, but Dreamgirl really tells us a lot about who the stepmother is. And I think that they both work really well. And also, I think Dreamgirl is a really good, also it's a villain song. Villain songs are always great. But it also very much is the epitome of the struggle that every woman in this movie is going through. And I think that's really cool. Costume design in this movie is fabulous. I think Gabby would get a kick out of it. Production design is pretty good. It's got Kay Cannon's signature humor, but toned down so that kids can enjoy the movie.
Right.
The small changes and twists to the story keep it really fresh, in my opinion. And I love that almost everyone in the movie has an arc and has their own happily ever after in a way. There's a lot of great themes of gender equality and gender roles, as I kind of mentioned when I talked about Dreamgirl. I saw a couple of reviews that were saying that some of the storylines, like not every character needed an arc. Some of them feel like superfluous, I guess you could say. And I'm a sucker for like, if everything is flowing together thematically, then I can forgive it feeling that way. Because I want it all to just kind of mesh together.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm the same way.
Also, like when you do something for me that if I'm interested thematically and story-wise, then I'm willing to forgive like a lot of technical things that like might irritate me.
Same.
I love when movies use anachronisms in period pieces, and this film does it a lot and to great effect, in my opinion.
Anachronism?
Yeah. So like the movie takes place like in medieval, I guess you know what it like the typical period piece that you would do for like Cinderella.
Yeah.
But they're using modern music and like somebody pulls out a tape measure at one point and they don't talk like they're from that time period. They talk like regular 21st century people.
Oh, okay. I understand.
It's really cool. Like there was one line, Idina Menzel's character uses the word twosome to describe a man. And one of her daughters goes, twosome? What does that mean? And then the other stepsister goes, it's the old people way of saying poppin'.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unexpected.
That's great.
So
Anachronism is like a Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones.
Got it.
Except
Got
that,
it.
except that was not
No,
meant to
that was
happen.
not
No,
on
it wasn't on purpose.
In this movie, it might be on purpose. So, but I love things like that. I can see why people wouldn't like this movie. But like, there are a lot of people like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Oh my gosh! And I'm like, dude, this movie wasn't made for you. Like, it was not made for like the film bros and like film Twitter. I went in and I got what I wanted. I got like a really cute musical.
Yeah.
And I watched it twice the first day it came out. I got to see it in theaters, which is what I was hoping I was
dope.
going to get to do. Me and my mom really wanted to see it in theaters because Billy Porter. And I really wanted to see it in theaters because Camila Cabello. So we found a theater near us where we could go see it in theaters. So I was very happy about that because I was really disappointed when it became an Amazon Prime movie. But I got to go see it in theaters. And then a few hours later, I watched it with a friend of mine on Amazon Prime, which worked out in my favor.
Nice.
So yeah, I was a happy camper. This is like a movie that is going to be somebody's comfort movie. Like you sit down, you're having a bad day, and this is just going to lift you up. It's a movie that's going to make you want to sing and dance. If you don't like Camila Cabello, please don't watch it. I don't want to hear your mouth. And, you know, if you're not into these types of movies, like, why bother hate watching it? Just
yeah, like the concept of hate watching to me just seems like such a waste of time. There's so many things you can watch that you like.
Yeah.
Like why?
And also,
why
are you spending all your time on Twitter bad mouthing it? There are things you could talk about that you like. But yeah, overall, it's a fun movie. Makes you want to sing and dance, and hopefully it'll make you laugh. It's as the director said, #jokes and songs, or songs and jokes. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I have a Cinderella for every occasion. If I want extravagant Cinderella, I'll go for Cinderella from 2015 with Lily James. If I want musical comedy Cinderella, I can watch this Cinderella. If I want realistic Cinderella, I go for Ever After with Drew Barrymore.
After. I was going to say, do you want a super period piece?
If I want Rodgers and Hammerstein or just nostalgia, I can just go for Brandy Cinderella.
Okay, I was going to ask, like, which one is the Moesha occasion?
It's that one. It's that one. And that's fun. And people are like, stop remaking like Cinderella and stuff like that. But we keep remaking fairy tales because there are so many different ways that you can do them.
Also, yeah, like all the ones you named are very, very different movies.
They're
like
so
they're
different.
not all. I feel like how do I put this? So I feel like people mean stop remaking things. Like, do we need another period piece version of Pride and Prejudice? No, but Bride and Prejudice was amazing because it's a Bollywood version.
I have seen that one.
Yeah, so like I think if there's an original version of doing it, but like, are you rehashing the same thing we've always done? Maybe.
Yeah, this one is a little bit. This one is a little bit different. Like I said, it's got a couple of twists and turns. Instead of losing her glass slipper, she throws it at somebody. You know. I was like, great, you had to get a Latina Cinderella, and she throws her chancla at someone.
Yeah, we
Got
gotta
it.
throw the
She's
chancla,
doing
man.
the Cardi B.
Oh, I love Barty for that.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, if you just want to have a fun time, this is a good one. And plus, it was the #1 movie on Amazon the weekend it came out. So
Dope.
bam.
Dope.
Also, you guys hate watching it. It's just making it the #1 movie on Amazon. So
Yeah, like,
Honestly,
guys.
in the end, who wins?
Just go watch
Not
something you
you.
like. It's really
Camila
easy.
Cabello.
All
All right, that's my review for Cinderella. Next up, we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is about to make this an even longer podcast.
Yes.
Let's go.
The moment Gabby has been waiting for.
Yay.
Dun, 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 dun.
I did so much shipping in this movie. More than I ever expected to.
Jealous.
Yes.
Give us our descriptions and stuff, please.
Shang-Chi is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who
Woo.
directed I Am Not a Hipster, Short Term 12, a movie that hipsters like, and Just Mercy. It is written by Cretton, Dave Callahan, and Andrew Lanham. Dave Callahan wrote Wonder Woman 1984, Mortal Kombat 2021, and the upcoming Spider-Verse sequel. This man is
Hey.
busy.
Yes.
So
Well,
busy.
And such different movies.
Yes. And I think he wrote Expendables. Like, this dude has been busy
Wow,
for
he's
a while.
prolific.
He's an
Shout out
action
to
guy.
Dave. Mm-hmm. And you better get that Spider-Verse sequel right. Andrew wrote The Shack, The Glass Castle, and Just Mercy. I believe he is a frequent collaborator with Destin Daniel Cretton. The movie stars Simu Liu, Awkwafina, Manga Zhang, Tony Leung? Tony. Big Nasty, lots of other people.
Oh gosh, I don't think he goes by Big Nasty when he's doing his movies.
Look, I call Donald Glover Gambino whenever I talk about him, so I'm going to call this man Big Nasty.
Wait.
Razor Fist. No, he's
No.
a fighter.
He's a fighter.
His
okay.
ring name is Big Nasty. Sounds like a
Ooh.
rapper, right?
Yup, it does.
Anyway,
Yeah, I believe his real name is Florian Montanou.
Montano? One of those.
Yeah.
Florian. Anyway, Big Nasty. IMDb summary states Shang-Chi, the master of unarmed weaponry-based kung fu, is forced to confront his past after being drawn into the Ten Rings organization. Gabby.
Yes.
I mean, Demia had one. I had one.
How do you feel
Colin,
about
don't
this movie?
talk. What you got? What you got for Shang-Chi? You're whispering again.
I'm so sorry.
Stop
I love
whispering.
this movie. It's so good.
I'm sorry, hold on. Do you want to do an ASMR podcast? Because we can make that. We can work that into the schedule.
We'll just make an episode where it's just ASMR by Gabby.
Dude, do you
I'm
know?
kind of down.
Colin will not be here for
Gabby
that.
always brings
Nope.
food. She can chew into the mic, do the like, the slurping the
Give
I
you
straw.
something to
could.
tap on.
Exactly.
Maybe. I'm
so much,
little
guys.
We'll work that
so
in.
Much.
Let us know in the comments if you want an ASMR podcast.
Gabby, continue
Wrinkles.
on your thoughts.
Okay. God, this movie was so good. It's hard for me to begin where. Also, I love how do I put this? I felt like no character was ever fully good or bad, which I really liked. Everyone existed in this nice gray plane. No one was perfect except maybe Katie. I loved
I was
Katie.
gonna say, Katie didn't have a
Katie
bad
is
bone in her body.
sweet, wonderful woman who I love. And she's played delightfully by Awkwafina, as always, who always brings like a lot of delight and comedy to her characters.
I agree.
But I like that everybody else was like living in this nice gray area. Even like the Mandarin like had some good in him in moments and had like obviously a lot of pain. He wasn't a purely just bad like pure villain. And also I feel like that added so much more depth to the movie. Like it wasn't just generic bad guy. It was complicated story and history with this bad guy, right?
Yeah.
So I really, really appreciate the complexity to each character. And oh god, it added so much great moments. And I love all the references to I don't know how to pronounce it,
Uja.
Wuxia. I love how it has so many like beloved Asian actors in it too. Like Ronnie Chen's in it.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, Benedict Wong's in it. Like it's great. So that I also really appreciated too. Like somebody would come up and be like, "Oh my god, I love them." Yeah. So that's my that's my initial thought.
Dallas.
Yeah, it's dope. I liked it a lot. It's pretty much what I expected. I was like, all right, Shang-Chi's gonna have hands. He's gonna run the fade with everybody. Awkwafina's gonna be very funny. It's gonna be beautiful. It's Marvel, so it's gonna be quippy, have some jokes. Yeah, I got all that, and I enjoyed it. Very happy to see Benedict Wong. I've been
Yeah.
seeing him a lot because he was in 9 Days, which I just saw recently, and he's in the Marvel What If episode that just came out. And then now he's in that. I'm like, hey, Benedict, do your
He's
thing.
working.
Work.
Benedict Wong is not Wong. That's
No, that is Wong.
Yeah, he's
Benedict
Wong.
Wong is
that
Wong.
is Wong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
Wong.
Cool. I was
Wong.
thinking of BD Wong.
Oh.
No.
No, he's not in
no,
that.
he's
Okay.
not in
I haven't seen him since Bird Box.
Ah, damn. All right.
He's not been busy.
Oh, BD Wong. Oh my God, I love him.
Relatively.
He's in Aquafina's show as Aquafina's dad.
He's in the Orphan Queen?
Yeah, he's in North from Queens. He's a hot dad. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he is.
He's
that's
also
dope. He has been busy.
Li Shang. Anyway,
True.
Hot dad. Let's go.
Did you have any other hot dad thoughts that you wanted to share, guys?
Absolutely. Whoa,
And now
I
we're
don't-
introducing a new
Shang-Chi's dad.
segment called Hot Dad.
Shang-Chi's dad. Hot dad. Move on.
I think we need to make like a special alarm that just says Hot Dad.
hot dad.
And like introduces the Hot Dad segment. I'm thinking like an intro to a segment from like a Sherman Showcase type thing. Like a little jingle.
Yes.
Now, Hot Dad.
Ted Lasso. Hot dad.
I was gonna make it broader and just give like a Gabby thirst alarm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, ding, 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 ding,
Ding 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 ding. Gabby's thirsty. I'm just gonna quietly go ding every time.
I did thirst a lot in this movie too.
What a
There were
surprise!
so many characters.
Oh my gosh.
Who? What a shock!
Oh my goodness.
Who would have thought?
When he takes his shirt off, and then Katie's like,
What happened to your shirt?
I was like, same, but keep it off.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Actually, they love doing stuff like that with Simu in Kim's Convenience, where like
How does he get half naked in a convenience store?
he doesn't.
People do weird stuff in stores.
He
I know.
he like lives at home with a roommate, and there's scenes with his roommate, and so he's often like wearing very small, tight shirts, and the female characters that walk in are obviously like caught off guard over how hot he is. So it's just like a running theme with him in his TV shows and I guess movies that he's in.
Demi, what'd you think?
So first off, it's really fun going into a Marvel movie and not knowing who the character is.
Yo, it's so
Yo.
liberating to
Yes.
not worry about. Oh, they're gonna get it right. I don't care.
I
I'm
don't
just
know
gonna
who
watch
this
it.
is.
Just,
Yeah,
just
same.
hope I have a good time.
Same.
Yeah.
Except the Mandarin. Like I wanted him to be as formidable as
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know enough about the Mandarin to care. So
Oh, fair.
Same. I just knew that Iron Man
I knew
3
Iron
got
Man,
it wrong.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I knew
they-
Iron Man 3 wasn't correct.
I was like,
So-
I know he's not either of these white men.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
we're in the wrong direction here.
Yep.
yeah. So it's nice to go into a Marvel movie and just like not know and to just be like, I'm open to anything
So
you're willing
great.
to give us.
I love it.
I can't wait for the Eternals for that same reason.
Exactly.
Oh,
I
yes.
can't. I love it.
I know nothing. Tell me everything. I felt like this was one of the best origin stories that we've gotten in the MCU so far, and I felt like it's the first fantasy movie that we've actually gotten in the MCU as well. 20 some odd movies down the line. Yes, I know that Doctor Strange does magic and that Wanda does magic, but those don't feel as fantasy as this movie is.
There are mythical creatures
Yeah,
in this
we
movie.
have mythical creatures.
I mean,
It's great.
roaming.
Thor doesn't feel like fantasy.
Not as much as this.
No, not really.
The
Although-
Frost Giants and the
I feel
Asgardians
like
and
the
the
thing
hammers and
about
the magic and the
Thor
elves.
is A, you can just go aliens, and B, because it takes the fantasy and then immediately says, nah, we're taking that to Earth. Thor 2, maybe, I would say is pretty fantasy because
Right,
a
the
lot of
dark
it
elves
takes
and
place
all
in
that.
Asgard, and you've got Christopher Eccleston being dramatic, but I think that's as close as you get. But I think a lot of it is like they want to go for more of a sci-fi type feel than fantasy.
Yeah,
Even though it's
that's-
not sci-fi because it's not really based in science. Anyway,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like Marvel wants Thor to be more sciencey than it is because they're like, oh, that's not
Yes.
magic, that's our science. But it's like, bro,
Yeah, those
Come on,
feel
dog.
so
That's
much more
kinda, you know,
sci-fi than fantasy.
any significantly advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Like
Yeah.
we think it's magic because how you do that lightning thing. Do you actually know? I bet you don't.
Yeah, this movie is just
that
like,
beautiful himbo doesn't.
science? What?
No.
who cares?
that nigga whispered into a hammer and threw it to Earth. That's magic.
It's physics.
Or it's a code that he unlocked in it that's voice activated. Moving on.
He got an Alexa hammer. It's voice activated. Alexa, go find my son and don't give him his powers back.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, this one felt like the first fantasy movie that we've like we
It did.
truly delved into fantasy on this one, and I liked that because I really do love fantasy movies and fantasy aesthetic. So this one felt like that
Same.
more so than any other movie that might have fantasy elements in it.
Mm,
It just didn't feel like we were diving into that. It's just like, yeah, these things exist
right.
within this universe, and then this one was like, hey guys, we're going somewhere real weird with no explanation.
I
Y'all
love
ready?
Just with some furry.
But yeah, I also love.
Oh, you woke Colin up.
creatures.
All right. So, Gabby, we're going to revisit this next time you say you're not a furry.
You
What?
said
I said furry faceless creatures.
you got to know that furry is like Colin's sleeper agent phrase. You say it and something awakens in his mind. He's like, huh? What? You said furry.
Alrighty, Fuzzy. Let's
This
move
review
on.
is so off the tracks.
It's
Yeah.
chaotic.
This is how you know we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks because now we're just everywhere.
Yeah.
No, what was I going to say? I love this cast of characters. Like, I'm so excited to see more of them in the MCU. It's
Mhm.
like, it's not just, oh, Shang-Chi is cool. I can't wait to see him in like an Avengers movie. It's like, no, Shang-Chi, Katie, his sister, whose name I cannot
Zhu Xiaoling.
Jialing, yes.
Yeah.
Like, all of it. It's just like, yes, I want to see all these people come back, and I can't wait to see how this story progresses. Not even like how it affects the wider MCU, but just this particular personal story. Where is this going to go? That's what I'm excited about too.
I fully agree with you.
And I think that's a good thing, you know, especially because we've lost a number of the original Avengers. A lot of people were like, I think I'm going to lose interest because we don't have the OG Avengers. Guys, there are so many other great characters to be explored out here.
That's true.
And Shang-Chi and his family and his crew seem like one of them. Gabby's right. I was shipping Shang-Chi and Katie. They were
dude.
super cute.
So hard.
From the moment Mama said, so when
Yeah.
are you guys getting married? I was like,
I was
yes,
like,
here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Accurate.
From that moment, I was like, oh, no, actually, no. From the karaoke moment.
No.
There, I was like, I see something here and I like it.
Yeah. They have really good chemistry. They play off of each other really well.
I'm going to offer. I'm not going to call it a counterpoint because that sounds contradictory. I don't know. I really appreciate platonic friendships in movies that oftentimes, like in another movie, a lot of times it would make them a couple by the end of the movie. I like when men and women can just have a really nice friendship in a movie because it just seems so rare now.
I think me and
Because
Gabby.
I feel like the people who write the movies also like to ship things.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
they're going to have these characters and like, well, he likes women. She likes men. They're hanging out all the time.
I think
Let's put them together.
I think it's also that me and Gabby, and we've had this discussion before, the MCU has not been good at romances.
It hasn't. And
They
it's
have
like-
not been particularly good at it. So to go into a movie and be like, I like this pairing already,
Mm.
Yeah.
is a good sign for their whatever romantic relationship if they plan to go through with it.
Mhm.
Because other MCU movies, it really takes the backseat.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I also, how do I put this? I feel like often Aquafina, when she's in like a film, I've noticed, because she's kind of the funny, quirky one, she is not really considered,
She's not the love interest.
she's not the love interest. And I like that they put, especially because she's not that kind of stereotype of like what we're fed is an attractive Asian woman, right? Which is going a little hard, I feel like, in terms of saying, but I feel like she doesn't quite fit that, right? So
She's not Lucy Liu in a dominatrix
yeah,
outfit.
exactly.
Got it.
So I like that there's this like super hot dude that's like potentially in love with her, right? Because it makes it so that you don't have to be this sort of like stereotype of what's considered attractive in order to be the love interest. I love when they take somebody that's not necessarily considered like conventionally attractive and put them as a love interest, because it's just nice to see some diversity with like in love stories, right? Like it's one of the reasons The Holiday is one of my favorite photos, because Jack Black is like peak, like he's just so charming and lovable and like exactly the dude you would go for, but he never gets cast as a love interest, and he was so amazing as a love interest in that movie. So it's kind of like, I'm not saying it's like that level, but I like that she might be a love interest because I feel like she's often not, and like she's so great.
She deserves to be. She's talented.
And she's charming and attractive, but like, I mean, it's not what Hollywood deems attractive, but she is. I'm grandstanding.
I was saying
about
that the
something.
cast did a great job, though.
I concur.
Cast did a great job. I'm so happy Michelle Yeoh is in a MCU film, because I remember when Doctor Strange came out, I was like, she could have been the ancient one. I don't care what anybody says. Like Michelle Yeoh Michelle Yeoh would have bodied this.
Oh yeah.
So it's nice to see her in the MCU anyway, especially in Shang-Chi, because she's amazing. She's dope. Simu Liu is really great as Shang-Chi. Very likable, very charming. And I like that he seems like the guy who you would definitely want to hang out with in the MCU.
Yeah. Really easy-going. Hang out, do karaoke. He's a valet
Dude.
driver.
Did you get the Outcast poster in his room?
What?
Okay, so do you remember what poster it was? Like, was it just a poster of them, or was it an album?
No, it was an album.
Okay. I think I saw it, but I can't.
I caught a different thing that I was
What you
like,
catch?
ooh, but I can't remember what it was now. I gotta see that movie one more time. It's great.
I do want to see it again. It looked dope. And when he was dog walking everybody on that bus. I was like, yo,
Oh, man.
Also,
that seems amazing.
Can we talk about really quick the kind of action we saw in this movie?
The action
was
sequences were
so
amazing.
So like, no hate to MCU at all, because I like, but it was just starting to get to the point where I was like, okay, I'm tuning out a little bit during these fight scenes.
Because we've never had a martial artist.
Yeah, exactly. And these were just like, first of all, they were like, they felt really high stakes for some reason. And they also were so creative and just kept me genuinely engaged. They didn't ever last too long, which I feel sometimes the MCU does. It's just like, and we're still fighting. Or at least there was like some plot elements going on while they were fighting. Especially there's like a fight scene on like scaffolding. That was so cool.
The scaffolding fight scene, my mind immediately went to Rush Hour 2.
Mine too. I was like, oh my God, they're doing Rush Hour.
I was like,
yeah, get scaffolding fight scenes.
Jackie Chan reference. Like, it's not probably, but it's immediately where my mind went.
Or it might be because Jackie Chan has done 1,000 movies. And
yeah,
jumping
and
off
he's
of stuff.
like, if you're gonna do references to anything like
Jackie
Kung
Chan
Fu kind of things, yeah, like that's an easy place to go.
Also, one of the things that I've started to notice with martial art movies, or just like movies with action sequences in general, Louis Tan talks about it a lot ever since Mortal Kombat came out, is like when you get actors who can actually do the fight scenes and stuff, really being able to hold your shot for longer.
Yes.
And this movie was able to do that. There's not a lot of cutting away from the action. I mean, there is like in a rhythmic sort of way, and with, editing, you kind of don't want to stay on a shot for too long.
Yeah.
It's about the attention and, keeping people focused and into the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that this movie, though, did a great job of being able to hold out some of the action shots, being able to show us like what these movements actually look like.
Yes.
And I love the different kind of forms of fighting, because the Mandarin has got like a really aggressive fight to kill kind of style about him. And then Shang-Chi's mother had a very elegant, she was like the definition of what martial arts is, which is like, you're not supposed to use martial arts to hurt people. It's always supposed to be your last resort.
Okay.
Yeah. It's supposed to be martial arts is supposed to be about peace.
Right, gotcha.
And so hers felt like that. So hers felt fluid and like a dance, and like, I think it was it Bruce Lee that said move like water or something like that. Like those things, I really got that vibe from this movie without it having to like be said in the movie. It was just through the language of the bodies and of the fighting.
I feel it.
I love, because they did this in Avatar too a little bit in terms of like the different like cultures of the different nations. I love when they think about how this person's personality will affect their fighting.
Yes.
Right? And then it's choreographed to heighten the person's character. I love that. And they definitely did that in this movie.
It's really good. The fight sequences are, they're probably the best in the MCU, if we're being honest here.
Yeah. They were so fun to watch, so creative, very interesting, and like kept you engaged. And everybody got a moment to shine. And so good.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Um,
Story was dope. It was funny.
Yeah, I'm going to get the one negative thing I have to say off my chest because
Go for it.
I have to. I hate the way his parents met. I'm not gonna give away too much because it's not really a spoiler because it happens in the like first scene of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's just a thing that stories do a lot that I never like. And when they saw each other in the context that they did, the first thing I thought was, these two idiots are gonna fall in love. And then she's like, and that's how I met your father. I was like, dang it. No. But yeah, that's my own personal, like,
However,
that's not, I don't feel like that is a mark of a bad storytelling.
Yeah.
It's just a story trope that I don't personally like.
That's
so
fair.
yeah, it doesn't make the movie any worse. Just is not my bag.
It's cool. That's how I felt about the entirety of the Cinderella movie. This is my bag.
Yeah.
It's not everybody else's.
Right. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is poorly written. It's like this stuff happens a lot, but it's not my favorite thing to do or see in a movie.
However, that scene though, I was gonna say that first fight scene. It is not the first fight scene of the movie.
It's not.
It's like the second fight scene of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the moment where I really started getting super impressed with the martial arts.
Yes,
Dude.
visually that whole scene is dope.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
It was
really
very,
good.
like-
It's well shot. It looks pretty as hell.
I was like, oh,
The
I was like, this
choreography's
is
dope.
very like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And I
Mhm.
was there for it. I was like,
oh, we are.
100%.
I was like, we are here for it. I spent the whole movie thinking to myself, damn it, I really gotta watch more Wuxia films.
Dude, for real.
Yes, you do.
I really
Yeah.
do.
They
Time.
slap.
They do slap.
I want like a top 5 list from Colin to check out.
I don't even know that I'll see what I can come up with.
Nice. But yeah, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The three of us who saw it really liked it. It's still super nice to be back in the theater to go see Marvel movies. I saw it in IMAX,
Oh, nice.
and oh my god, Last episode, we were talking about the Eternals trailer.
Right.
Watching that in IMAX, oh my God. I thought it was ridiculous on a phone screen.
Oh my God.
On an IMAX screen?
I imagine.
Oh,
The
man. The Celestial.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
remember, it's got the shot of Gemma Chan looking behind her,
Uh-huh.
and then it's the Celestial shot.
Right.
So her shot is still like, like a letterbox frame or
Mhm.
whatever. As soon as it cuts to the Celestial, whole screen. And I was just like,
That's dope.
I was like, bruh, this is there were so many shots within that trailer that
Mhm.
were just big screen. Okay, back. Big screen. And I was just like, the scale on this movie is going to be intense. And even the final fight scene of that trailer of Icarus fighting the monster and like the laser eyes and stuff like that, and him flying, full screen.
Nice.
And I was just like, oh man, November cannot come soon enough, because now that we know that Shang-Chi is doing well in the theater, or it seems to be doing well in the theater, if it doesn't pull a Black Widow on us, when Black Widow did super well its first weekend and then dropped considerably its second weekend. If it doesn't do that, then the Eternals will definitely be coming out in November, because there was rumor that it, depending on Shang-Chi and how well it did
that's
at
fair.
the box office, Eternals would be pushed.
I don't think this is what happened with everyone, but personally, for me, what happened with Black Widow was I went to see Black Widow in the theater, and this was the first time, probably one of the first times since the pandemic that I went to a movie theater, but the first time I went for a blockbuster movie like that.
Yeah.
And I sat down, I looked around, I was like, it's a lot of people in here.
Actually,
And I did not go back.
Shang-Chi, this is almost as many people were in my Shang-Chi theater as went to go
I can
see
imagine,
Black Widow.
yeah. I was looking at some of the showtimes and I was like, ooh, not going to that one.
But also,
that's full.
Black Widow also came out right as the Delta variant was starting to surge.
Yeah, bad timing.
It was like almost perfect timing, because it came out right before.
Right before, right?
So it
Yeah.
did really well that first weekend, and then it started surging. And then
Yeah.
everybody was like,
Everybody back in the house.
Back in the house.
Yep.
Good, yeah. Because I remember me and Gabby were like, yo, it's making so much money. And then the next week, dropped.
That Delta.
So quick. But we'll see what happens with this one.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. I'm sure that they'll still put out Eternals in November. We should move on to our next topic, because we are 45 minutes in.
So, the news.
See.
The news.
The news. To me, the first one is all you, because this is a thing that you are surprisingly, I mean, it's not surprising.
It's a little surprising.
It isn't, because, you like the actress, you don't like the genre.
I like several of the actresses.
Boom,
I
even less
do not
surprising.
like the genre. But I've told you before, sometimes it doesn't matter if I like the actress. Sometimes I just cannot bring myself to do it. But I have
Yeah.
nostalgia to go with this as well. Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, releases its first official stills. I'm super excited, but I'm also really scared. Yeah, I grew up watching my dad play the original Resident Evil games on the original PlayStation. And so
Man.
I have a nostalgic attachment to the Resident Evil games, even though I was scared out of my mind watching him play them as a child.
Dude, Resident Evil 7 is terrifying to
I
watch.
don't even, actually, I've watched somebody play recent Resident Evil games like a few years ago when I was in Monterey.
No, thank you.
Don't like it. And yet somehow I'm going to sit my behind through this movie and hope to God I'm okay when I come out of it. I'll probably just go on like an early Friday afternoon. It's fine.
Question. Do you know off the top of your head what the release date is?
November 24th?
Ooh,
Okay.
that's soon.
That is soon. I was going to say, I'm definitely down to go with you, depending on how many new COVID remixes we have by then.
Yeah.
But
It's around Thanksgiving.
yeah, maybe we can find like a weekday showing or something.
COVID remix.
Yeah. Well, I
snap.
want to see it so I can review it. So,
So I will probably not be there. But good luck.
yeah, it's going to be a
Take somebody, because
thing.
it's going to scare you.
I might take my dad.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
It's gonna be.
But yeah,
not
the
fun.
stills, it looks like a Resident Evil game, that's for certain. It's all dark and dingy and gritty looking, and
like Dark Quiet Death.
Dark white.
I'm nervous. I'm gonna have anxiety walking into that theater. But I love Hannah John Common, who is playing Jill Valentine, and I love Kaya Scodelario, who is playing Claire Redfield. I'm super, and Tom Hopper's in the movie, and I love him.
Don't you like Ivan Jogia?
I also like Avin
Oh
Jogia.
my God,
Yeah.
he's in it too.
Yeah, he's playing Leon.
It's a dope cast.
It's a very dope cast. The director seems very excited to give us the tone of the original video games. I'm not excited about that part, but like I know that game fans are excited about that part. So, I'm happy for you guys, because I know that even though I enjoyed the Mila Jovovich Resident Evil movies, they were not accurate to those games at all.
No, they're not.
So, and they were also more sci-fi than horror, because I sat through almost all of those
Right.
with no issue. So
Again, Dark Quite Death.
yeah, we'll see what happens when the new Resident Evil movie comes out. I'm hoping that it's really good though, because if they make a series of these, I will just have to just watch all of them and try not to scream. I mean, I'm typically cool with zombies. It's fine. It's not the zombies that frighten me. Although the monster photo in this,
Yeah, hold on. I want to. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Look
know.
at
I
this
saw
picture.
it. Oh, I saw it. I saw it. It's very Dark Quite Death.
that is a nightmare.
yeah, nightmare fuel, guys. There is nightmare fuel. Yeah, that picture of Lisa is nightmare fuel, and
Yeah,
Mhm.
that part I'm not ecstatic about.
I'm kind of more excited.
I know you are. I know you are.
I like scary.
Also, Hannah John Common's biceps in this movie, ridiculous. What? I was like, oh, you got fit for this.
Yay, I'm not
Okay.
the only one thirsting in this episode.
Are you sure? Because I'm not going that hard. I'm just saying that she got fit, and you know what? A lot of people complain about women not looking like they can carry the weapons that they're holding in these movies, and that is not the case here.
Is that a thing people complain about?
People do complain about that all the time.
I
I
thought it
feel
was
like
just.
it goes one way or the other. Either it's they don't look like they can hold that, or they're buff and therefore not sexy. I hate this.
Yeah, it's one
For
or the
me,
other.
it's usually just they don't have video game titties.
No.
Dallas.
What?
That's part of it too.
Okay,
when
listen.
Tomb Raider came out.
I'm
I
sorry.
do.
I'm sorry. Do you know anybody with titty triangles? Do you know anybody with polygon titties? I don't think you do. That's
Look.
what you mean.
Look,
That's what you're talking about.
I didn't complain about them not having video game.
I'm
titties.
just saying. Do you want the titty to be
Also,
a triangle?
It is not 1995. I don't think Laura Croft still has triangle titty.
She doesn't.
Exactly. They want the reboot titty. They don't
Yeah,
want
but
the,
the reboot-
PS1 titty.
The reboot Lara Croft doesn't have big titties.
She doesn't.
I don't know. I just remember people were complaining about
Alicia
Alicia Vikander for some
Vikander.
reason, even though she looks good. And
Alicia
she
Vikander
looks
was
like
this-
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Alicia Vikander was, similar to the reason why people complain about Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. She wasn't buff enough and she doesn't have boobs.
Right. Never mind. I'm not gonna defend those people.
Don't defend those people. don't defend those people.
I'm just gonna say that I wasn't complaining, but I was surprised because the last time I had seen Gal was in Fast 6
Fast
or
and
whatever.
Furious, yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, oh wow, she's like, Wonder Woman is like a
She's-
white Serena Williams. She is
Yeah.
swole.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, just get
But
Serena
people
Williams.
were like automatically discounting her and
Right? Yeah, people were.
I was a
As
little annoyed too.
as if Chris Evans was like Steve Rogers built when he got cast. Come on, guys.
That's fair.
He
We
was
didn't
not.
know- yeah, he wasn't like that until the movie came out.
Same thing with Henry Cavill. People complain about Henry Cavill being cast as Superman because he wasn't ripped enough to be Superman.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, so people just complain about everything.
Exactly.
That's the moral of the story.
Moral of the
Also,
story.
Gabby complained when they made Lola Bunny less sexy. so.
I did not complain.
Yes, you
You're
did.
on mic. We recorded it. It's one of our Instagram posts.
It's
I
true.
said I was originally disappointed.
Okay, fine. That is what you said. You were originally disappointed
But,
that you couldn't thirst over Lola anymore.
but yeah, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Guys, it's September. Where's the trailer? The movie comes out
Right?
in November.
Yeah,
Right?
Why don't we have a
That's in
trailer?
2 months.
Are you
Like,
planning to push the movie back? Can you please let us know now? I just want to know.
Trailers are a 6-month ahead of time thing.
Not
guys.
anymore. Not in COVID.
That's true. Not in the time of
We just
COVID.
got a Spider-Man trailer. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's true. When does the guy come out? November?
December.
Oh, of course it does.
But yeah, like Resident Evil, y'all could have put out a trailer for that.
I want a teaser. Just a teaser, guys. Second news piece. Peacock's Vampire Academy finds its cast, which is dope for me because I actually enjoyed reading that first book and I enjoyed the movie that came out.
Oh, I love that movie too.
Hey, Dallas.
Hmm?
You think we could get your sister-in-law on the podcast for that one?
My sister-in-law in the
Oh.
podcast.
I think she really likes those
Is she
books.
into vampire?
For the
Okay.
show?
From what I remember, when I
think
read them, I
she
borrowed them
is.
from her.
I think she is into that.
Nice.
We'll see what we can do.
This is a very long cast list because they announced 10 people.
Ooh.
But one of the people is Cece Stringer, who was in Mortal Kombat that just came out this year.
She was Melina, right?
Yes, she was.
Nice.
Daniela Nieves, Kieran Moore, Andre Day Kim, J. August Richards, who I love because he was an angel,
Mm.
and a number of other people. I just want to give a shout out
So
to
many people.
so many people. I just want to give a shout out to Janetta Kaiser, who is somebody that I've worked with. She's very lovely, very cool, very proud of her.
Nice.
When I saw her face on the article, I was like, shut up, get out of here. I know her. Just worked with her last year on a show, and she's really great. So I'm excited. Not just because I know somebody who's on the show and has like a pretty decent sized role in it, but also because I enjoyed reading the first book. I enjoyed the first movie, which had Zoe Deutsch in it.
That was amazing.
I loved that movie. And I'm excited to see what they do with the TV show because they went full force on diversity casting for this one. So I was like,
Let's get diverse with it.
we're going to have some black people playing vampires? That's what we doing? Oh,
Yay.
Oh. you made him Asian. Oh, that's nice. I was like, oh, she's going to be Latina? Oh, just everybody out here. We just
trying to cover all their bases.
covering all the bases.
Shout out to Peacock. I have never looked at an article and seen more names I don't recognize than this one.
Which is kind of fun, though.
Yeah, because like they have pictures. I'm like, okay, have I seen that guy before? I don't know. Because this is 10 people in the casting. And
you
then
know how we make jokes
everyone
about
else.
how I know like every actor under the sun?
Yeah.
I know 3 out of these 10 people, and one of them is because I know her personally.
Right. Like Demi is shooting 30% from the field on this group of people.
I'm shooting 10% because I only know her because I watch Millennials.
Well, you saw Mortal Kombat, so you know the other one.
Did you see
Oh, I
Mortal
do?
Kombat?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, the
I
one
did,
with the
I
mouth. That's Sissy.
Okay.
What, Colin?
Oh, wait. Nope. I'm
no,
4.
that's just accurate.
The one with the mouth. I'm 4 for 10 because one of these
Okay.
guys was on Grownish.
did. Oh, okay.
Dope.
That's all I got. That's all I got for you guys.
Shout out to these people.
Proud of y'all.
Proud of you.
Good job.
Go be vampires.
Also, I like that
Get
they
that stuff.
chose to choose people that are relatively unknown, and
Yeah.
like because that gives you. Well, first of all, it means so that other people are working and new faces. Exciting.
Always love new faces. Dallas, I think the next one is for you.
The next one is for me and me alone. Saints Row is back. And oh my lord.
I played the opening of the third one. Is that the one where you jump out of a plane and power place?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
that one. Saints Row the Third. This is a reboot, which is always interesting to me when like games do reboots because it's not a medium I'm super familiar with the way I'm familiar with movies. So I'm just like, why not just I don't know. Like, why not just make it Saints Row 5 or 6 or whatever number they're on? I don't know. I don't care because it looks closer to the original, the first 2, which are the ones that I love. Saints Row 2 is like my favorite game.
That's probably why it's a reboot.
Yeah.
Because if they made Saints Row, what would they be on?
5,
5?
6 maybe.
I think people would expect like aliens and all that. And
Yeah, they really went off the rails. It's so strange how this franchise's like trajectory went because it starts off as a GTA clone, which I love it, but that's what it is. It's basically, I've always described it as GTA, but more for black people because you run a gang in the streets, and then Saints Row 2, you run that same gang in the streets, and then Saints Row 3, you're like, it's kind of like the Fast and the Furious movies because now in Saints Row the Third, you're like a criminal organization, and I think
You made it come up.
you definitely made it come up. And then the fourth one, I think you're the president.
you are, yeah.
And there are aliens.
Oh god.
And there's a spinoff where one guy, Johnny Gat, one of my favorite characters.
Listen, man. Even we don't have aliens in Fast and
That's
Furious.
the thing. We're not even there yet. And y'all are on,
Not
what,
yet.
number 9? Y'all are about to be at number 10.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got aliens yet. Just John Cena. But
We've got the Black Superman. That's it.
that's true. Shout out to Idris. That movie's dope. It went off the rails so fast. So I'm hoping they dial it back and bring it to what I love. I just want to shoot some people in the street. Just let me shoot some people. I don't want to shoot aliens. There's like giant dildo weapons. It got really weird. There are zombies. It got super weird. And I appreciate that for what it is. If you want to beat up zombies with a giant purple dildo, that's your thing. I just want to do drive-bys in the street and kill some cops. Not in real life. I don't want to kill cops in real life. Please don't shoot me. But yeah, February, we're getting Saints Row the reboot, and I'm very excited. The trailer looked dope. People complained about it because nobody likes anything new anymore. You're like, this doesn't look like the game. Everybody shut up.
I feel
If
like
you don't want to play it, don't play it. If
why
you
is
do, play it.
our podcast is slowly just becoming, everybody just shut up.
Because when we are advocates for positivity, but everyone else is not, it's just, you just look on Twitter and everyone's complaining about this or that.
Or like a lot of what we don't like about things is just like it lacked originality, or it's something we personally don't like. It's never like this sucks because it sucks. It's just like I don't like it for this reason.
That is not entirely true.
Except for me, like
I mean, nah, because there's also the issue that we've talked about many times where it's like some art can be good, some art can be bad. So then at that point, you do get into that discussion of
Yeah,
like,
we
some
don't bring that
things are
onto
bad.
the podcast.
I'm
though.
just, okay, that's
I don't
fair.
think we have. And I'm in the, never mind. We're not doing that today. We're like an hour in. We're not getting into the
no.
artist subjective conversation right now.
That's a whole podcast in and of itself.
Yeah. That'll come after the ASMR podcast.
So the 3rd of Never.
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty, ASMR is popping. And Gabby likes whispering for some reason.
Yeah, ASMR we can definitely do, and I feel like people would be interested.
Yeah.
Wasn't that originally a movie review podcast? Yeah, but now they just do ASMR.
Now they just make weird sounds into the microphone. Now Gabby just eats in and out
About
into her mic.
movies that they like.
Yeah. I like this movie. Yeah, Saints Row's back. I'm excited. If you're not, that's fine. Go
Somewhere else.
Go
Find a
be
video
somewhere.
game that you are excited about.
Yeah, go play your game. Don't complain about mine. How do you say this name to me?
I want to
Next
say
time.
it's Park Seo-joon.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys might recognize him from Parasite. He's the dude who gives the main character a rock.
And also puts him onto the tutoring job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him.
And that teenage girl.
Okay.
Yes, that too.
It's a weird plot point. Nobody talked about it. I don't like that. We needed to address it. It was weird.
We're not going to address it today. Anyway, he's going to be in The Marvels. There is no announcement of who he's playing, but rumor is going around that he is playing Amadeus Cho, a.k.a. Hulk.
Oh,
He feels too old
He
to
is
play
too old.
Amadeus.
he's 32.
No. Amadeus is a teenager.
But also, that's just a rumor.
It better be.
So,
It's playing.
we don't know who he's playing, but he's going to be in The Marvels. And speaking of The Marvels, because we were talking about Nia DaCosta earlier, and Tiana Paris for that matter.
I support them both, and now I'm very excited for this movie, so let's do it.
Woo!
Park, I hope you're not playing a teenager, but I'm excited to see the movie.
Yeah. So, but I figured we should put that on there
Okay.
because it was associated with something else we were talking about today. And also, it was associated with two things we were talking about today. Marvel movies and Nia DaCosta and Tiana Paris.
You right as hell.
So, hey, The Marvels coming out in 2022, next year.
I'm excited.
I am too. Nia DaCosta is an amazing director. Once again, I'm
I agree.
recommending that you guys watch Little Woods. Anyway, that's going to be my thing for
I
the
see that.
for the episode. I'm never going to get this opportunity again until The Marvels comes out. All right, and the last piece of news. Phoebe Waller-Bridge leaves Mr. and Mrs. Smith TV series. I'm sad.
Tragic.
a lot of people like her.
Yes. Colin, what you said is exactly how I feel. I have not
Yes.
seen anything this woman has done.
Same.
You saw
But-
Solo, but you fell asleep during that movie.
No.
Wait.
Wait,
I
which-
almost
You
fell
watched
asleep during
Killing
that movie.
Eve,
Yeah, but she wasn't in that.
but she wrote the first season. And
That's
she created
true.
it.
The show didn't get not great until later seasons. So
Also,
that's
she
fair.
technically was a writer on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, so not just acting in it.
Yeah, that's
Right.
why
I
I'm
was
kinda
saying
sad.
I
I
haven't
was
seen
looking-
stuff she's done behind the scenes. Because she
Oh.
was the robot in Solo, right?
Which is
Mhm.
why I was excited because I
Yeah.
think
Oh.
her and Donald Glover have such great chemistry
They
together. I was
do,
super looking
yeah.
forward to them working
Yeah,
together.
like I love that character, and like her performance was dope. As far as her
Writing.
writing and production, I haven't seen Fleabag
I've
or
also
Killing Eve.
never seen any of her writing stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen her writing stuff, and I've also seen like Fleabag the play. Like I saw
Oh.
a performance of that play. I've watched all of Fleabag, and I've watched the first season. Well, I've seen like the first 2 seasons of Killing Eve, and she wrote and created the show the first season, and then she wasn't involved after that. And I love her humor.
Wait,
It's
hold
really
on.
great.
You said she left after season 2?
After season 1, she wasn't involved in season 2.
Okay, season 2 did slap, but season 3 not so much.
This article
Maybe
makes
they
it sound
should've
like
gotten
she's
her
going back to Killing Eve right now, though.
Oh, ooh.
back. I mean, I've cut my ties with that show, but it's okay.
Aw.
You were so excited about
I
it
love
a
that
while back.
sh-
I remember
yeah,
you
you
talking
It's
were
about
so
fine.
it.
excited.
Season 3 was fine, and then it ended in a way that was like you could end the entire show here, and I'd be happy. So I have no interest in
I was
season
gonna
4.
say, aren't they
okay,
about to
I
release season
understand.
4? Isn't
Yeah,
that
I
the
have-
last season?
No interest in season 4 because the way season 3 ended was so final. It was like I don't.
But it's legitimately the last season.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm fine with the way it ended in season 3.
Hanging it up.
It's probably because they didn't know if they were going to get a 4th season, so they had to do that.
Maybe.
Shows you that a lot. Meanwhile,
Or maybe that's how the books went. I have no idea.
I just need to find 3 days where I can just binge watch that entire series.
It's so
Anyway,
good.
I'm kind of sad that she's leaving though, because like I said, I really wanted to see her and Donald Glover act off of each other again because they were really good, and I wanted
Yeah.
to see what their creative energies would create
Yeah,
together,
me too.
which that did not seem to work out.
Which makes me sad because they seem to really like each other.
I gotta be honest. I'm just so happy to see that Donald Glover's still here.
We knew he was still here.
I know, but I just saw. Yeah, look. I don't know what he's doing at any point in time.
Nobody does.
Exactly. So I didn't know that he was still there. I don't know. He's still on Earth. That man could be in space right now.
It's true that rich people do that now.
That's true.
But also, I was really interested in seeing, because like they're taking on the roles from Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie,
That's so interesting to me.
and both of them are not who I would cast
No,
to replace Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
No,
they don't
So-
have those kind of vibes.
no.
So I was really interested to see what these two vibes would be for these characters.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I guess, and now we'll have to wait and see who they recast her with.
I just want to say, Hollywood, if you're listening, Zazie Beetz, possibility, make it happen.
Zazie Beetz is always a possibility.
Also, she was in 9 Days, and she's amazing. Make her Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. So like, I'm sad that Phoebe is leaving because the potential of what that show was gonna be, man. Like, it's still gonna be great because it's Donald Glover, but like the both of them on it, I was just like, I've heard so many great things about her writing, and then to put it next to his writing, and it's gonna be really, really awesome. And I mean, it's still gonna be awesome. It's just it'll be not whatever I was not anticipating. So
It'll be a different type. It won't be the Phoebe Waller-Bridge awesome. It'll be a different type of awesome.
it'll just be Donald Glover awesome.
Right. Which is the kind of awesome that I am here for.
Yeah.
But she's busy. She's working on Indiana Jones 5.
Yep.
No Time to Die.
Yep.
Well,
Killing
she
Eve.
already worked on
No
Oh, yeah,
Time to Die
that's-
is coming out.
I mean,
It's done.
Maybe.
It's coming out in October. I don't think they're pushing back that date.
it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But
But Delta.
that movie's been pushed back so many times.
It's starting to feel like New Mutants.
I'm about to say that movie's gonna be New Mutants.
I don't know, man, because they literally just pushed up Venom. So
That's true. I just No Time to Die for me is like Cutthroat City and
no
New
time to
Mutants.
watch this movie.
Exactly. No time to release. The movie ain't coming out.
I think it'll come out this time.
Daniel
Fingers
Craig's over here
crossed.
like it better because I'm not playing James Bond again.
Right. I'm
you
trying to go be
assholes.
Benoit Blanc. So let me go do Knives Out too.
Because I feel like Shang-Chi broke records.
Mm,
Literally, and I'm not talking pandemic records.
No, just like
Records,
regular.
right.
General records.
That's
Like,
crazy.
Yeah.
and we're in a
In
pandemic.
a pandeezy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the panorama, yeah. They
In a
broke
Ponda
During a
replay.
Panasonic?
Ponda replay. That's so good.
Ponda replay. That's a new one.
That's a great one. Oh,
Shout out to Kev on stage who made that joke. I love it.
That's amazing. But yes, it broke records. So I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
studios are going to start getting a slight bit more confident.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, this is also a Marvel movie. So don't.
Yeah.
True.
The studios are probably over here like, yeah, but like, can I do it with mine?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody who's not Disney, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
You're not that man, friend.
I don't even know if Disney can do it with all of them. Just Marvel.
Honestly, yeah.
So-
Marvel is a different kind of
I
animal.
mean, because I think Black Widow is still holding the record, the pandemic record.
that
for
makes sense.
For highest grossing weekend. Only reason that Shang-Chi doesn't have it is because it was a 4-day weekend and not a 3-day weekend.
I have a very quick question because you brought up Black Widow. How's that going with the lawsuit?
Oh, God.
Oh,
I
we're
hope
still
it's going
going.
well.
Yes.
We're still
Litigation
still
takes
going.
a while.
we'll see what happens. I'm
I
keeping
need that to be televised.
Dude, right?
Put that on C-SPAN. I will watch C-SPAN.
But yeah, that is our show for today, guys.
Yes. Thank you for listening to all of that. As always, we went off the rails for you, the people.
Also because it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we missed each other.
We
and
are a mess.
I got stuck
We
in a
are
hurricane. No, I
not-
didn't.
yes,
I
so we
almost got
narrowly
stuck
avoided
in a hurricane.
a freaking hurricane. Ugh. Anyway, thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon and I, for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Jimmy, thank you for editing and putting us on YouTube, repping for the Nia DaCosta fans with me.
And the
And, you
Camila
know.
Cabello fans for like everybody.
That's true. We all brought something to the table. Gabby, thanks again for giving us another entry for your Thirst compilation.
Yay.
You're welcome. And that's what I'm here for.
For the ranking list.
That's
Yes.
going to be the
Oh,
longest
God.
episode of the podcast
Oh.
we ever put out. Is just that compilation.
Yep.
Fun fact. So you guys know I write down my notes for like outros and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
I wrote that down before we recorded because I knew Gabby was going to give us something for the Thirst compilation.
You're the best. Well, okay, you knew
You
because
weren't
she
wrong.
said, but
I knew because it's Gabby.
she also said it in the chat earlier.
Yeah. If I can't think of one, that's just going to be thank you, Gabby, for thirsting again.
It's dependable.
Oh, reliable.
Her
Hey guys,
brand.
you guys want to see me make her thirst
Faithful.
again?
Oh,
Yes.
no.
A ver, enséñame. I've lost my mind over that video for days now. It's Oscar Isaac being a messy ass married man.
It's a married dude being weird with a married woman.
It's the
And we
way
got-
I want him to look at me like that. Is all it is.
No, see, the problem is she can't listen back to her reaction because she was so overcome it was like silent.
Colin, thanks for hanging out, even though you didn't see any of the stuff we talked about. You know,
You
we're
pulled
glad to
a
have you here.
me.
Just pulling up, chilling, commenting on Gabby's thirst. What you got here for?
Man, I'm just trying not to die. Like, I would go see movies, but I don't
It's
want to
fair.
die.
It's
I feel you. I saw Shang-Chi at a drive-in because I'm
Oh,
afraid.
That sounds like the way to do it.
It is and it isn't because, man, I know it looks way better in the theater, but
does.
also,
Can confirm.
yeah, nobody was sitting behind me and coughing into my popcorn. So that was a nice little trade-off. Anyway, audience, let us know. What'd you think of Shang-Chi, Candyman, Cinderella? Did you get nightmares from Candyman? Did you get nightmares from James Corden's face on a rodent body?
Yo, that is a thing that happens and it's amazing.
I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh, God.
Yikes.
It's like the craziest body horror I think you'll ever see in your life.
Crazier than cats? Just kidding.
Cats. Anyway, let us know in the comments or hit us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, or Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC. If you want to talk to me about how black people are better at everything, including horror, hit me up on Twitter and or Instagram at a king named Simba. Gabby, I said horror, not whores. Just
Thank
so you know.
sir.
Got it.
If you want to talk about how hot Steven lived in that movie, and also about the hot Romanian. Actually, I don't know if he's Romanian.
He is Romanian.
Oh, the hot Romanian henchman. Hit me up on Instagram at Stegosaurian.
Just shit, man. Talk to me about whatever on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
You guys are more likely to find me on Instagram at this point, but I am technically still on Twitter. And you guys can find me at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled Dreemi. Thanks again for joining us. I don't know what our next episode is going to be, but I'm sure it'll be a fun one.
Woo!
Good point. I mean, we'll see. Maybe it'll be ASMR.
I can help with